Hey everybody. I don't know about you, but for me, the weather's been pretty depressing lately. As you probably know, I live here in the Bay Area, and Northern California has been getting pounded by multiple storms for the past few weeks. In fact, I was watching the news the other day, and they said that we are going to be seeing 11 storms in a row hitting the NorCal region since the end of last year. We're right in the middle of the 10th one this weekend, and thank goodness that we are almost at the end of this bad stretch of stormy weather. But if you've been watching the news, you know that it's been a rough few weeks with massive amounts of rainfall. We've got reports of flooding, mudslides, high wind conditions, power outages, and now we're hearing about roads collapsing and sinkholes forming all over the Bay Area. It's just wild. We haven't seen weather like this in decades. And what I wanted to talk about today is the fact that basically all my favorite driving roads, all the best driving roads of the Bay Area, they're just getting destroyed by this weather, by the rainfall. The roads are getting flooded, they're getting pounded and soaked by the rain, and potholes are showing up everywhere. The roadways are getting covered over by landslides, trees are getting knocked down and collapsing. Some roads have even collapsed from developing sinkholes or losing support from underneath due to the crazy amounts of water that's running everywhere. So let's take a look around the map and see what is happening.
We'll start with the roads nearest to me and work our way out from there. Starting in Castro Valley, Redwood Road, one of my favorite roads to do a quick drive up into the Oakland Hills and back down, but the route north of Castro Valley is closed indefinitely. A portion of the road has collapsed, and as you can see in these photos, it's a big chunk of road that's missing. It's going to take a while to fix that. Lake Chabot Road, just south of that, also closed. Then let's go down to Palomares Road. You can see that is shut down as well. According to Google Maps, it's closed until the end of the month. You can see also the south end of Palomares also closed. And right next to that, another favorite road of mine, Niles Canyon Road. You can see that whole section is closed between Fremont and Sunol. According to this news story, there was a landslide at the end of December, and you can see it's going to take some time to clean that up. Forgot to mention also Crow Canyon Road, which connects Castro Valley and San Ramon. Portions of that, as well as Norris Canyon Road, are also closed. Okay, continuing a little further east in the East Bay, let's look at Livermore. If you go out to Patterson Pass Road, basically the whole section of Patterson Pass connecting between Livermore and Altamont, that whole section is closed. And then the other well-known road down in Livermore is Mines Road, and the first section of Mines Road coming out of Livermore looks like it's actually open, but if you come down here to the southern portion of it that heads out towards the junction, that whole section is closed. Again, there were photos that I saw on the internet that some of the road had collapsed from all of the excess rain and flooding, and the damage looked pretty severe, so unfortunately it looks like this section of road could be closed for quite some time. Again, it indicates closed until the end of January. the other part of the drive down there, Highway 130 over Mount Hamilton, well, it looks like a good chunk of it is still open. But then there's this part of it. Yeah. The part coming up from San Jose looks like a portion of it is closed as well. Closed until mid-March, it says. Wow. So that really sucks. A lot of the roads in the East Bay are closed for quite some time, it looks like. All right, let's take a look at the west side, the peninsula. And you'll see this made the news the other day. Highway 92 connecting between San Mateo and Half Moon Bay. Well, a big chunk of that roadway collapsed from a giant sinkhole. And so, yeah, that road is closed as well. It says it's closed until January 20th. Although, if you saw the photos of how big that sinkhole is, it seems like it could take much longer than that to fix that road. So this is a huge inconvenience to people who live out on the coast that would take 92 back towards the bay, towards San Mateo and the rest of the Bay Area. They're all going to have to take a massive detour around because of the road closure here. Also, down here on Highway 35, Skyline Boulevard, the road's approaching Alice's, another one of my favorite drives. This portion of it is closed. It does look like you could still get up to Alice's by taking Highway 84 up from 280 though. So that might be your best bet. And it looks like this portion of Highway 84 between Alice's and La Honda is still open. So that actually is, if you've watched some of my previous videos, what I consider one of the best driving roads of the Bay Area. So kind of good news that that section of road is still open, it seems, for now. Definitely use caution if you're going out that way. I'll have to go check that out sometime in the near future. But you can, it seems, take Highway 84 all the way out west towards the coast to San Gregorio. Although I've heard that there are portions of Highway 1 south of San Gregorio that may have been closed. It may be down by Pescadero. Okay, moving on to the South Bay. Highway 9, one of the very popular driving roads that connects between the South Bay and Santa Cruz. And there's a chunk of that road that has literally collapsed, so that's not going to open for a while. Again, indicates closed until January 20th. Wouldn't be surprised if it takes even longer than that to reopen. I'm showing you a couple more photos of some of the blockage or mudslides, fallen trees that have closed the road. And Highway 17 is another important section of road that connects between the South Bay and Santa Cruz. And a few days ago, I'd seen that they had a major road closure on 17 because of a mudslide. I don't see it on the map now, so perhaps they managed to clear off that portion of the road that was blocked by a fallen tree and some mud. So that's good news. But definitely want to be cautious if you're driving along this road as well because of the potential for other flooding and landslides. You can see adjacent to 17, there's a portion of, I think, Bear Creek Road that's closed. And lastly, south of San Jose, I wanted to point out there was another road that I like to take from time to time. Normally you would head down south from Almaden Expressway to McKean Road, and I would take this all the way down to Watsonville, and you can see Down here by the Uvas Reservoir, unfortunately, there's a big chunk of that road that's closed as well, just before it connects to the Watsonville Road. On the plus side, I'm guessing that the Uvas Reservoir is quite full at this point, and it's been a little depressing to see during the drought how dry that reservoir got, but I'm guessing that it's quite full of water now.
So there you go. We've taken a look all around the bay, and it's a complete disaster. We've got roads destroyed, roads closed, all across the map. And it's kind of killing me inside because that means all these roads are undrivable. They're off limits for who knows how long. It could take weeks or even months to repair some of these roads. Caltrans has their work cut out for them. And respect to all of the emergency and safety workers and first responders who have to deal with all of this, of course. But, everyone has their hobbies, their ways to let off steam. For me, it was getting out there in a sports car and driving on these backcountry roads. Enjoy the fresh air, the beautiful scenery, the peace and calm out there, being away from the cities and all the traffic. Driving is my way to relax, and now it feels like my ability to do that has been severely limited. That said, I think there are still a few good driving roads out there that are still open. The roads around Alice's Restaurant and Highway 84 to La Honda, these look like they're all still open. Any of you guys that live out there that way or have driven them recently, drop me a comment down in the comment section below and let me know what it looks like. I do think that with all the rain that we have to be careful, even with the roads that remain open. But I might want to head out there and check it out when it clears up and see if I can still get my drive on. What about you guys out there? How do you feel about this? Do you have a favorite driving road? And has it been shut down too, or is it still open? Have I missed any roads that I should have talked about? What roads are still open and still safe to drive? Let me know in the comments if you have any tips. I want to hear from you. Okay? Thanks for watching. Be safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.